Right now we're taking you on a 1-hour tour across the globe. We are going to speak about projects implemented in North America, Latin America, Europe, Asia, Russia, and of course in the Middle East. As usual, we do hope you will get some inspirational ideas from that kind of presentation. And as we go through the projects, I'm sure some of you will notice that some projects were implemented in regions which cannot actually boast of having any great economy or any stable political situation, or sometimes even a peaceful sky above their land. At the same time, our partners do manage to implement amazing projects, regardless of poor budgets of their end users, or regardless of any political or economical insecurities. So sometimes I do wonder what would all these companies be able to achieve if they were working, let's say, in more favorable conditions in a more stable area. I bet their success would be even greater. Today we are presenting 10 cases, and after we have presented the very first 5 cases, we're going to have a quick Q&A session, so please keep your questions or write them on WhatsApp chat. My colleagues will assist me, and we will do our best to elaborate on the subject matter based on your questions from the audience. So let us start. I suggest we start with the very first project that will be presented by my colleague Nishan.
Thank you, Olga. Hello again. My first project is from Beirut, Lebanon. As you may already know, Beirut is a beautiful place. It's got a lot of cedar trees and beautiful people and a whole lot of cars. So that's a problem, not the beautiful people or the cedar trees. It's the cars that's the problem. So around 80% of the transportation in Lebanon is through private vehicles. Yeah, so this causes a lot of stress on the environment, pollution, and a lot of congestion during peak hours. Now, if you notice that one of the biggest problems of congestion is also parking stress. Parking is very expensive in Lebanon, $4.5 a day. That's like adding to the cost, and these vehicles are immobile. So the only way to resolve, like in all cities, is to improve the public transport infrastructure. The government of Lebanon is actively promoting a lot of projects. And one of these projects, which was spearheaded by a group of students from the American University of Beirut, was Yellow Bus. So Yellow Bus is a project that it tries to add to the solutions. So why do we have this problem in small upcoming cities? It's primarily because there is no infrastructure information. Infrastructure information means public transport information like stops, routes, schedules, things that are readily available to end users, commuters. In most big cities, these projects are spearheaded by governments, there's funding. But in Lebanon, these college students, college graduates, they came up with this project. It's a wonderful project. And how our partner Malia Tech contributed was they offered development support, guidance, as well as tracking units and telematics. Now, in this project, we are using 2 different APIs, a Wialon API and Nimbus API. So through Wialon, we can get all these things, but Nimbus extends the possibility of offering you stops, depots, units, schedules, as well as the online rides, which are the buses that are currently available. So the mobile app was the other part. There were 2 elements. One is the Yalla Bus server, and from there on, you have the mobile app, which is the Yalla Bus app. In the app, they will be able to identify which mobile app user is available at certain stops. So since there are no designated stops, these mobile apps and the congregation of these mobile apps will form clusters. And those clusters will be used as possible future stops. And the drivers will be able to plan their trips accordingly. So the other thing is, what is the benefit of this? What are the results of something like this? There are primarily course, you get to know when the bus is going to come, the stops, the schedules, all this information is available through the app. However, the most important thing is the potential of adding 6,500 units on the platform. Yes, that is definitely a good thing for us and for the partner. But there is also future, that we are future-proofing the entire system. The city can plan for designated stops, bus lanes possibly, and plan for infrastructure development. And then you also have these displays that you can establish in major stops or even minor stops. Nowadays, many big cities have got these stops in Delhi, in Mumbai, in Berlin. You will see bus stops in Amsterdam where there are bus stops which shows you which is the next one. In Dubai, we see that in Dubai as well. And then you also see next stop. In the bus, you will be able to come up with next stop. These are not complicated things once you already have this information available through Nimbus and Wialon. So that is my first project. Now I hand my mic to Senia.
Thank you, Nishat, and good morning, partners.
Give me a call at the end.
Our next project is from Bulgaria, and this time we're talking about much more traditional way of cargo transportation than vehicles. More traditional is railways. The end user in this project, the owner of the diesel locomotives, was facing four main challenges. The cost of the maintenance and the cost of diesel locomotives are too high to cope with competition. The route planning wasn't effective. The risks related to human errors are too high, and also we can't forget about carbon emission. At the same time, the replacement of the time-proven locomotives wasn't never an option for the end user. That's why our partner had to find a compromise, and he provided a solution implemented following way. So the first and obvious element is the installation of tracking devices in the locomotives itself. They are combined with the additional MTVR devices with two cameras connected. One camera faces the railway itself, and the second one the cockpit of the driver. The third element is the sensor. We're talking about fuel level sensors, obviously, and also the temperature one, because there's always a risk reheating the engine. And then comes the Wialon itself, the interfaces to display and analyze data. Our partner used Sensilator for 24/7 control room, and also dashboard for the management to analyze information. The route control was done in the monitoring interface. Our partner is particularly devoted to an old school route model. And the final point might seem small, but still has a crucial impact on the security. I'm talking about the overspeeding. The overspeeding that triggers not only the notification for the control room, but also the red light on the driver's panel in the cockpit of the locomotive. This way, the driver is prevented immediately and can react and prevent the collision. The implementation of the solution gave the following key results. The first one, the fuel consumption reduced by 24%, and the cost, obviously. The idling is reduced by 18%. The route planning became more effective, and this way we cut the costs, and at the same time we prolonged the lifetime of the locomotive itself. And the cherry on the top of this cake is the green certificate that our end user received by reducing the carbon emission by 20%. So this project shows that basically you can go greener even when you're driving. And I'm passing my microphone.
So the first project that I'm going to speak about was implemented in the rainforest of Amazon in Peru. I bet we all have seen some kind of movies about the Amazon rainforest when there are some criminals, they try to transport drugs and weapons down the river, and there are some brave police officers who try to catch them. Unfortunately, the situation in real life is not that much different from the movie, and there is the governmental agency called Simtrack, which does their best to keep track of that terrifying situation. They've been partnering with a telematics software provider, a local one, but the challenges with this guy were numerous. Basically, the first challenge was the fact that the tracking service fee was way too high. And the main problem about the service fee was the fact that the vessel owner had to cover the costs, the traveling costs of installation engineers who used to come from Lima, the capital city, to the Amazon rainforest. And those costs were obviously too high. Challenge number 2 was the fact that those installation engineers did not go to the Amazon rainforest way too often. It probably happened like once per month. So basically it was very challenging for the vessel owner to receive the tracking service, and thus they were unable to get the license from Simtrack for transporting anything or anyone down the river. So it all resulted in an increase of unauthorized boats on the Amazon River. And it could no longer continue like that, of course. So Simtrack threw a tender, which our partner won, and they were able to step into that project. Very, very fortunately, our partner himself is from the Amazon rainforest district, so he knew people there very well, and he knew the situation there excellently. So he was able to offer the perfect implementation. One can say that implementation consists of 2 main parts. The first one is, of course, Wialon, where routes and geofences are used with Wialon API. And the second part of the implementation is the fact that Simtrack actually adjusted the security process on the river based on the advice from our partner. First of all, the partner decided to fight the challenge of installations. He found some good local guys who live close enough to security checkpoints on the Amazon River. He trained them as his own employees, and he taught them how to do the required installations. You can say that he created installation engineers for Simtrack. Then Simtrack, as I mentioned before, also adjusted the security process. Currently, there are dozens of security checkpoints on the Amazon River, and now it's obligatory for each police officer to check in every single boat, to check it manually, and when doing so, a police officer also fills in the security form, which was specifically designed by Simtrack for that kind of check. When the form is filled in, it's sent to the dispatcher. The job of the dispatcher is to fill in the information to Wialon. Once it's filled in, it's sent on schedule to Simtrack governmental program every 15 minutes. So Wialon API is also here to help the whole thing happen. Speaking about the implementation on the Wialon side, our partner created a number of all possible routes on the Amazon River. Those are real routes which are typically taken by vessel owners. So now when a police officer checks in the boat, he knows or she knows that it's following, say, route number 12, next checkpoint is this, and it takes approximately 3-4 hours to get there. So if the boat is not on that next geofence within that period of time, notification is triggered, dispatcher is alarmed, and he may call in the police to send the boat and check the situation, what's wrong. This kind of implementation had really amazing results. Result number 1 is that now vessel owners don't have to wait for ages for the guy to come from Lima, they just wait for the guy to come from the nearest village. Result number 2 is that now it's fairly easy to get the official license from Simtrack. If to be more precise, currently the agreement between our partner and the vessel owner is the required must-have document for getting the official license from the government. So it's a win-win situation for both parties. Nobody is losing any profit here. Naturally, a number of unauthorized boats is going down and is becoming better and better because it's easier to control everything and everyone now. But the greatest and the most unexpected result of all is certainly the fact that our partner was able to create job opportunities for local people. He provided them with new sources of income, and he contributed to his own community, even though he now lives in Lima himself, he hasn't forgotten his roots. So I think it would all be impossible without a person who wants to create a better world around him, but it would also be impossible without a platform which has such, let's say, basic features like routes and geofences, and a less basic feature like Wialon API. And on that note, I'm passing the mic to Anna.
Good morning, good afternoon, maybe. Good afternoon, dear partners. I would like you to tell about the project which was implemented by our partner from United States of America for a door-to-door marketing service. Door-to-door marketing is a method which is used for advertising and marketing of products and services. So the salesperson goes from the door of one house to the door of another, trying to advertise or market services or products. So this method is widely used in the United States to market the product or services to a wide audience. So the customer has been working in this industry for more than 50 years by serving such companies like Amazon, IKEA, Walmart, and so on and so forth. So the main aim of the door-to-door marketing company is to make sure that the products and or services are delivered to the right person or right family based on consumer lifestyle or age, basically on consumer behavior. But still, there were so many challenges. And first of all, this is regular delivery failures due to incorrect planning and routing. The second one is the bad performance of agents, of salesperson. And the worst one is the insufficient level of response data from the specific audience. Next to the implementation. Our partner offered online monitoring of deliveries, including notifications and reporting on the number of deliveries per one agent, performed on a certain geofence. Speaking about hardware, our partner used just a simple personal tracker with alarm button. So just a few words what was done in Wialon. In Wialon, multiple geofences were created, and these geofences were divided in two types. Geofence 1 is a targeted geofence, where the customers are supposed to need these marketing materials or opted in to receive them. Geofence 2 is the restricted geofence, where the customers do not expect these materials or opted out to receive them. So when the delivery is done in a target geofence, an alarm button is clicked on the device, delivery event is created, and notification is sent. But when the marketing materials are delivered in a restricted geofence, event is created like a violation. So alarm button is clicked on this device, event is created as a violation, and notification is sent. So our partner used two report templates. The first one is trip report. This report shows time and location of each delivery, as well as the total number of deliveries performed by an agent or group of agents. This report also report map with flag markers makes it easier to understand how well the delivery was made. And also this report shows if there are any deliveries made within restricted areas, geofences. And the second one is battery report plus corresponding notifications. These notifications show when the device should be immediately recharged, and this also helps to prevent the cases, for example, when the delivery delivery cannot be confirmed by using a tracking device. So the results were really great and amazing. For example, the first one is that delivery became stable and time efficient. The improved processes allowed the company to allocate the resources rationally and, as a result, achieve higher standards in terms of reaching the right audience. And this customer, by having delivered more than 200 million marketing sets, grows rapidly and thinks ahead. Thus, with the help of Wialon, he has managed to strike a balance between efficiency and expansion on the market.